I think that, look, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you here. I think that Norma is so daunting and yet so rewarding. But that's, you know, like they say, no pain, no gain, right? So if you actually face the challenge of it, and I mean the challenge, because every single night before that first entrance, I am like, okay, Norma, here we go, Norma, because first of all, the entire first 20 minutes of the piece, they're all going, and Norma will say, we'll ask Norma. Norma will know what to do. Outside of the Poglione Adalgisa duet, the chorus, the whole chorus is like, Norma, let's ask Norma. She'll know what to do. Let's check it out with Norma. And you're like, seriously? And then comes this huge, incredibly fabulous processional music. And then the most well-known, exposed, evil, difficult bel canto aria ever, Casta Diva. So I just think that's like the hardest thing ever. I've never, almost ever sung Casta Diva outside of the opera. I think it's just, I don't know, I sang it on one gala one time quite successfully, but I've never offered it in any kind of audition situation or other concert situation. It requires to me, all of the drama of the piece in order to actually put it across. After that, though there are great technical demands, I think it's just pretty much a joy to sing the opera. I think, not that Casta Diva isn't joyful, I really do enjoy it too, but it's just it's a hard thing to come up against when you're cold. The first thing out of the gate is that very, very difficult scene. Have I been honest enough on that?
I think absolutely.
I just think it's scary and important. I guess mainly I'm always intimidated because it's so important, you know? This role is so important in all repertoire, and that piece of music is so pristinely spectacular. You just don't you want to give it your greatest effort. And, right there when you haven't had a chance, you know, when you've had a chance to actually get your feet wet and feel just really grounded, all of the things that are difficult in the rest of the opera, cool. But that one, wow.
So you warm up. Do you warm up somewhat more for Norma beforehand?
I do. I'm a huge warmer-upper. People always come by my dressing room, my colleagues, and they're like, holy cow, what are you doing? You're singing. You know, I mean, they're always like, I said, no, trust me. Endurance is not my issue. I'm a big one for really being kind of sizzly. Now, that said, Norma, I laugh and anyone says anything to me about any of the role, but it's such a long part, I always say, no, I sing Norma. All things pale in comparison to Norma with regard to length and endurance. It's endless. I remember when I was learning my first one, and I was singing with Dolores Ziegler, and I said to her, I can't go out or whatever, I have to go back and study because I'm learning Norma. And she said, oh, God, Brenda, I've sung a ton of Adalgisa, and I sings and sings and sings and sings, and when she's done, Norma is half done. So I understand, go and work on Norma. And it's the truth. I mean, by the time Adalgisa is finished, Norma has a lot of heavy lifting left to do.
Now, let's move on to Adalgisa, who you run into next. She's just finished her duet with Poglione. She's coming on, and we begin working towards the trio. Now let's talk about how the character of Adalgisa for a little bit, and how she fits contextually with Norma. I've always been curious about the interplay there. Is there a special reservoir that Norma has with Adalgisa, in your opinion?
I think, for me, all this, of course, is me and my characterization. You talk to someone else that sings Norma, and they'd be, no, but that's the beauty of the art form, right?
Yes.
I think that, for me, Adalgisa reminds Norma of a path untaken. Because, you know, even though Norma was chosen to be the high priestess, I always assumed that there was a choice inherent somehow. She decided to take this mantle, and she's been doing it faithfully and well for a lot of years. And I think when Adalgisa comes in and offers this, I don't want to be a priestess, I've met this guy thing, of course Norma can't help but go back to her own past and how she met this guy, little does she know it's the same guy. And because she was the high priestess, she couldn't take that path. So I think when she pardons her and says, you go ahead and have your life, and it's sort of like being a mother superior in the convent, you know, and saying, look, I understand this isn't for you. It's actually real charity in a way. I think Adalgisa is probably the most bright and promising of the novices, of the young priestesses, and she might be the successor to Norma, and probably Norma knows that, but still she's more concerned about her own, Adalgisa's own personal happiness, and I think that's what makes it all such a crash and burn for her, because now she's not only sacrificed her own life to this duty, but she's given this girl a pass to go and have her own happiness, and as it turns out, it interferes greatly with this happiness. So.
Of herself, which
exactly.
moves us now into the addition of Pollione, not the nicest of people, we have to admit. He's a two-timing, well, you know. Now, in your mind, when this confrontation begins, many people find that there is a very specific point where this work dramatically turns, and it is centered on this trio. Do you agree with that notion, and what do you think on that point? And where specifically does it turn?
Yeah, of course, I completely agree. It doesn't change the fact that Norma from the moment we see her is a woman in huge conflict, right? Because she's a mother, she's a priestess, she's a woman. So I always think of her, it's always a blend of these three things, and the balance of these three things shifts all night long. But when she, and of course, as you know, this is always a laugh line. It doesn't matter what nation it is or what the super titles say. In fact, I think it's probably a bigger laugh line in Italy than it is in anywhere else. When Norma says, and so who is this guy? After the whole duet, you know, she says, no, it's okay, you can go ahead and have your life. And then says, so who is he? And everyone always cracks up. And it's so not funny, and yet in a way it is, because it's so tragic. But I think the whole Michigas turns on who? Pollione, when she says, him, Pollione, and then Adalgisa is in complete, she's gobsmacked. She's like, well, yeah, and your point. Now, I would imagine Adalgisa is thinking, okay, I can see why Norma would be upset with this, because he's the proconsul of the Romans, and that's not so good. And that would be her first, I would guess, you'd have to ask her, but her first thought process. She has no idea, of course, that he's the father of Norma's two children, and all these other things have been going on for so long. And by the way, to go back to your previous, in the question, I actually personally, and as the character, I don't think of Pollione as a skeevy guy. I think what makes this opera so enduring is that here are three people completely tossed around by fate. And sure, they've made odd choices or bad choices or choices that were maybe not the most constructive, but I think Pollione actually it's like they say, it just happened. At this point, when he meets Adalgisa, he has already realized that Norma is in a deep conflict between their two peoples, that nothing can really happen with her overtly because, you know, they're at war with each other. I don't know. I just think he's in a rock and a hard place as well. Now, the fact that he goes ahead and follows his heart, if you will, and seduces Adalgisa, okay, that's not so great.